Hello and welcome back to another week of Sambo iRacing. We're back in the Dallara IL-15, the Indy NXT car, this time at Portland for yet another track guide. But the good news is, it's not me behind the wheel, it's someone that can actually drive. Gianni Lutzu, 10.3k iRating, one of the best guys on iRacing, and he's a full-time driver coach. So if you want to improve your own skills, check out the link in the description, lutzudriverperformance.com. Let's start the hot lap. Okay, just before we start, Johnny is using push to pass. Won't be able to do that in quali, but other guys are using it, so we have to do the same. Down to second gear, long trail off, doesn't get back on the gas until the second apex. Now we're going to lightly go on the brakes just after the 100, and now he starts building back up on the power, never reaches full power before we then turn in, light dab on the brakes, back on the power once more, again not reaching full. Lovely throttle control again to the outside of the corner, brakes up to about 35%, down to second gear, and again, so much patience on the throttle. Portland is renowned for being slippy, and this car is one where if you just floor it, you are going to lose the back end. Probably found that out already. For turn 9, we're going to turn in, little lift, lightly on the brakes, little braking, again, long and light. Exits nice and wide. It's going to be mental racing here this week. And over and across the line he goes in a 102 flat. We've got one final version coming up next with the breakdown. Breakdown lap. So first braking marker is going to be just before we get to this. Good in there. Just before we get to the 300 marker. And he brakes up to about 70%, trails that off. Make sure that he's got both sets of tyres inside the curbing here. Brakes a tiny bit harder for the second apex, and then again trails that off. Doesn't start picking up on the gas until look how far away we are. Now on my triples I'm looking and we are well through the second apex. And again, doesn't just mash his right foot down. For this next corner, so we're about to go past the 100. And he does a full lift, gets on the brakes up to about 25%, trails that off, and doesn't start getting back on the gas until here. And again, he doesn't actually get up to full power before he then does a little lift once again and lightly on the brakes to get through turn 5. Then picking back up on the gas, more or less where the apex is. And once again, doesn't get up to full power. Now he does, after we've gone through turn 6. For turn 7, there's no immediate braking zone that you can see or a braking marker, but on the right-hand side, if you see that entrance roadway there, it's as you get alongside that, brakes up to 35%, and again, very steady with the throttle. We're coming to turn 9. This is a little bit more messy. So not messy as in Johnny's done it wrong, just messy as in where brakes, gas, brakes. So he turns in flat, then he does a full lift, light dab on the brakes, and then he gets back on the gas, and then on the brakes again, but only up to like 17%, back on the gas, and then he is on the brakes at around 20-30% all the way through to the final apex of that little section. And over and across he goes in a 102.3. We do actually have one other final version coming up now with the driving line on without me talking. Enjoy.